Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us for the 2015 Cool Duck Bonspiel 5 and Under here at the Ardsley Curling Club. Today is November 6th, and we are showing the quarterfinals of the A event. Team Plainfield 2, skipped by Jennifer Weir, versus Nutmeg 1, skipped by Craig Doucette. My name is Matt Shiner, and I've got here with me Michael Spencieri.
Is this the quarterfinals already? This is the second round by my check.
Yeah, he's right. We're doing the second round tonight, folks. Sorry about that.
No problem. We got a lot of curling ahead of us this weekend, and it's going to be pretty exciting. Both of these teams we're looking at on Sheet A are very experienced. Jen Weir has had plenty of success on the circuit, curling with her other significant, Greg Fiddler. They've done the Kaiser. They've done plenty of business. And Craig Doucette and Mike McCarthy made the A finals at the Dykes last year. They're ready for one more year, one more go at it. A lot of fifth-year curlers on the ice. Should be some good curling.
Mike, I have to apologize for the confusion. This is, in fact, the quarterfinal because we're on the short side of the draw.
Well, it looks like it's both. The second round matches are the quarterfinals here. When you have a 24-team field, sometimes that happens.
So for those of you watching at home, we are watching Sheet A. That's the sheet to your left. It looks as though... Well, we're going to see who has the hammer in the first end here, and then we're going to give you some play-by-play. So it looks like Plainfield's going to have the hammer, which means the first stone coming out is going to be for Nutmeg. They are the yellow rocks. Nutmeg is yellow. Plainfield is red.
Andrew Hancock will be throwing lead stones for Nutmeg as Erin Doucette, their fifth, is unavailable this match. And here we go. Looks a little tight on the line.
So for those of you who are not here in the New York City area, it is very warm here today. We had a high of about 75 degrees.
Not sure that's going to make it over.
Yes,
and
so
it doesn't.
The stone does not make it over the hog line. It is a hog stone. But because of the warm temperatures, we're having a little bit of a condition here with the ice, getting a lot of swing on the ice, and some of the players have been noticing that the stones are playing very slow.
Unseasonably warm indeed. We'll hopefully straighten it out over the course of the match, but at the beginning, definitely looking at some sluggish ice.
So actually, it looks like I spoke in error. I believe that Plainfield had the first stone and Nutmeg has the hammer.
Indeed. This is Andrew Hancock delivering now.
You just like saying his name because you get to say cock on the air.
I do like that.
You like the cock.
That's what they say.
Yes. So we have a stone in play.
An excellent corner guard, indeed. So we have Kyle Forster delivering here. He's the one who hogged the first stone. This one looks better.
So it looks like we've got a whopping 2 viewers watching tonight. Welcome to both of you. Feel free to post some comments in the comment section. We'll be happy to interact with you.
Looks like that one's going to drift into the house by a little bit, but that's not the end of the world in this scenario here, in my opinion.
We've also got on Sheet B with Yellow Rocks, Albany 2, skipped by Jeremy Olson, versus Philadelphia 1, formerly skipped by Mark DeSouza. I'm not sure the name of their actual skip anymore.
I don't think Mark is actually skipping. He was replaced. They had to have a sub and
no,
a
Mark,
different...
Mark is on the ice. He's just not skipping.
No. They had a replacement skip. I forget his name right now, but he's there, and he's doing the skipping.
Right.
And Mark has actually slid down to second.
And over on sheet C, we have, with the yellow rocks, Plainfield 3? Yes, 3, skipped by Derek Cussen, versus LICC 3, skipped by Frank Buquicchio.
Frank Buquicchio will soon be a father. And that's exciting for everybody who knows him and Christine, his lovely wife.
So back to the action on sheet A. Looks like Plainfield is trying to draw in. Gonna come up a little short, I think, here. Mike, I'm going to step away for a second. I'm going to leave the action. Feel free to jump in and take the commentary. I'll be right back. Thank you.
And so here we have the Yellowstones delivering again. Sweepers are on it early. And we'll see what they can get done with it. Looks like it's going to lay in front of those red guards. We'll see if they can make use of that later, but it doesn't look like that was what they had planned. So here we have red delivering now. Looks like things have been working out well for them so far, and they're trying to continue their success. Looks like they're barely going to get it over. Not the most useful stone, might even hog, and that'll be that for that. Looks like a nice bump back by yellow, but red is still counting in the back of the house. So if red can take this yellow stone out here and maybe get a favorable roll, they'll be sitting two and looking pretty good. Greg Fiddler gets into the hack, and we'll see how she goes.
Yes, we good.
Sweepers are on it. They're sweeping very hard. See if we can get a piece. Looks like it's a little down weight. Not quite the kind of weight you're looking for on a takeout, as it comes up short as a guard. Looks like the ice might be pretty sluggish out there. Fiddler's looking for a takeout, comes up with a guard.
Mike, sorry about that. I'm back now. Happy to help. Yeah, the ice is playing pretty slowly here tonight. Most likely the effect of the temperature issues we've been having here in the New York area. In addition to that, we also have some issues with the humidity in the room. Dehumidifiers have a little trouble keeping up. Humidity is a little high.
Here we have Mike McCarthy trying to secure up the situation that yellow has. They're sitting second and third right now, and it looks like they're trying to play a little tap or draw behind. Looks like they might be tapping the red, though. No damage done, but also nothing accomplished.
Looks like Jen's calling for the hit here, Mike.
She did on the last shot. Looks like it might be a little wide, but they may get a piece.
Doesn't have the weight either.
No, more than the last shot, but not enough. And just tapping the yellow end to be now shot rock.
Interesting fact about these Plainfield curlers. For those of you who don't know, Plainfield doesn't have any ice right now. They are doing some repairs to their floor, and this team hasn't thrown rocks since April before this event this weekend.
Also, Jen and Craig have a cat named Zeus.
And if memory serves, I think Greg put a ring on it this summer, didn't he?
I don't know anything about that. Maybe somebody should ask Zeus.
I'm pretty sure that's what Facebook told me.
It's all there.
So it looks like yellow's just drawing in here.
Again, the ice seems to be laying things up short, but a guard's not a bad thing for yellow here. And Mike McCarthy's shot may prove useful.
I still haven't figured out who has hammer.
I was too embarrassed to ask.
I think it's Nutmeg. So that guard doesn't really do much for them, actually.
Interesting fact about Mike McCarthy, he buys his pants from the ice cream man store. I've looked for pants like that, and I can't find them anywhere other than ice cream man stores.
We're up to an evening record, 5 viewers. Welcome, viewers. Looks like we've got some comments.
Obviously, our sparkling commentary has more than doubled our viewership in the last 10 minutes.
Oh, Letitia has notified us that there is no ring on it yet. However, Zeus is encouraging the ring.
Well, looks like our color commentator has his facts correct.
Special shout out to Mr. Altman. Thanks for checking in, buddy.
Here comes Jen Weir with her first rock. Looks like she put some heat on that, according to our second color commentator, Brian Stewart. Nonetheless, with our ice conditions as they are, it didn't have the impact that kind of weight would typically have.
Yeah, the kind of weight she's throwing on a typical night in our club is, you know, takeout, normal takeout, maybe even peel weight. And they're throwing draws with that weight. So ice is playing super, super slow. Obviously an effect of the temperature issues we're dealing with here this weekend. Mike, a little shout out to you from Seth Altman. He says, "What's up, buddy?"
Well, Seth, what's up to you too? You've had your Chinese food. If you're watching a movie, it's practically Christmas over there.
Little scoring update on sheet B. Yellow took 2 in the first end. That's 2 for Albany, Jeremy Olson's team. like they're going for the tap here, Mike.
They're on the rock hard all the way. It looks like Craig has a chance to make this. Let's see where it goes. Tap, tap, still just one yellow.
It was a good attempt on this ice. That's a tough shot. So, Mike, if you were red here, what would you do?
Well, doesn't look like you have a hell of a lot other than that tap up the middle, maybe.
Even that's not that easy of a shot.
No, but there isn't much easy going on. Yellow is sitting one. It looks like that's what the call is. And if they can throw a good backhouse weight on that red, you might get it right to the tee.
Of course, backhouse tonight is peel weight any other night.
Well, that is true.
This is Jen's first rock.
It's her second rock.
This is Jen's second rock.
We'll see. First end's can be difficult. If he has the ice right and she makes it with the right weight, we're looking at a good situation for red. And if not, it looks like yellow is going to be scoring here.
Yeah, you know, Mike, I've always said this is a simple game. All you've got to do is hit the broom with the right weight.
Assuming the broom is in the right place, of course, Matthew.
Oh, sure. Naturally.
Looks like it's over curling a little bit. They should be careful about promoting that yellow by mistake.
I'm not so sure it has the weight for that.
The sluggish conditions are preventing that from being a problem.
So it looks like yellow's going to get their one. Maybe draw in for a second here with the hammer.
Not a hell of a lot available, but we'll see what they can do.
I think they're going to try to tap that yellow.
I'm going to refrain from making tap that jokes this early in the commentary.
Oh, looks like we had a comment earlier from Letitia that we missed. Derek Cussen over on sheet C, matching his shirt sleeves to the rocks. I don't know that he's necessarily matching to the rocks so much as matching to the theme of the Cool Duck, the rubber ducky yellow. We'll have to ask him when he gets off the ice later.
Some of those rubber ducks are blue for some reason, though. Well, here comes the hammer shot from Craig Doucette. Looks like they're trying to promote yellow, and they're going to end up crashing red a bit and not quite getting enough wood onto a yellow to make it two. So we're going to end up with a force here. Yellow takes one on their hammer in first end.
So that's one for yellow in sheet A. Also a scoring update on sheet C. We've got two for yellow. That is the Cussen rink from Plainfield. 2-0 after one. Sheet C. Looks like Craig's calling it in the house. Probably an effect of the slow conditions we're playing here. He figures if he gets it in and they're trying to chase, they're going to have some trouble.
I think it's a sound enough strategy. Having a tough time getting it to the hog. I'm not sure if they're going to make it.
Yeah, that stone is so far hogged it is off the screen. That is out of play. Looks like Jen's calling for the intern.
Here comes Kyle trying to execute. Looks like they might be in the rings on this one.
I think that's the call Jen was looking for, Mike.
Executed properly. Here's a shout out to Hugh from Plainfield. He is literally here.
Looks like our riveting commentary has scared off at least one viewer. We're down to 4, Mike.
Well, that is a 20% decrease in productivity, Matthew. I blame our lead commentator.
Looks like Doucette's going for the hit. They do make contact, and the stone sticks around in the back.
Not quite enough weight. Back house weight just pushes the red to the back.
Sorry, John, I pushed it far. I know, but I redirected it.
Looks like Jen's calling for the takeout on the yellow. They are shot rock.
And her brush head matches her shirt quite nicely.
So here comes Kyle with the shot. My eye looks like a little less.
They're on it all the way. I don't think they need it.
Fortunately, that's a jam in the back there.
Clearly they did.
Oh, and it is a cold freeze.
They must have been sweeping it for weight.
Letitia's asking if Plainfield 2 has switched their order, moving Jeff to lead and Kyle to second. I believe Jeff is the lead, yes. And Seth is only partially paying attention with his multitasking efforts.
I only know the front end of this Plainfield team as a duo. I don't know them individually. With some heavy sweeping, they managed to get that over the hog line, but again, shots are having a difficult time finding their length.
Thank you, Letitia. Yes, Kyle is throwing second, Jeff is throwing lead. Apologies for missing that. Oh, and we're back up to 5. Welcome back, whoever you are. Feel free to post in the comments section. Let us know who's watching out there, where you're from.
Perhaps we picked up a brand new viewer.
Absolutely. If you are brand new, welcome. You are watching the Sheet A quarterfinal of the A event, Cool Duck 2015 5 and Under Bonspiel at the Ardsley Curling Club. The warm room is a stifling 98.6 degrees, and we're having some humidity issues as well. We're watching this game through the fog of the glass.
On this draw attempt early here. It looks like it's going to crash the guards.
Yeah, I think Larry was a little light there, Mike.
It's been a problem. Right into the pile on the center line. Looks like Team Weir is going to attempt the same draw. Looks like this is the actual Kyle shooting, not the fake Kyle who I've been calling for lead shots.
Yes, Kyle throwing second. That is correct. Thank you, Letitia.
Sorry, Jen, I can't stay up.
Got a chance to get around these guards. Let's see if it has the length. And it's crashing the guards. It does not.
Got a nice pile growing in the control zone here. What do you think, Mike?
Well, I think that benefits yellow right now, since they're sitting one and the control zone is jammed up. We'll see how they play it from here.
Looks like we have an interesting house growing here on sheet B. Well, Letitia, if you and Eugene have nothing to do this weekend, feel free to come on down to the club. We'd be happy to have you. In fact, I'll buy you a drink when you get here.
Looks like Jen's trying to draw a second one in here.
Yeah, considering the speed issues we have, I'm not so sure that peel weight is an option right now. So it might be tough to peel those guards out.
No, well, they can certainly draw down to yellow and establish themselves as number one.
The ice has certainly been swingy enough, and what do we got here?
Definitely hard.
They are dragging it out there with some intense early sweeping, and it doesn't look like it's going to get the bend they expected.
Special shout out to Johanna watching John Humphrey on sheet B. John is the skip of what was formerly Team DeSouza, so thank you for watching, Johanna.
And a special shout out to Nicole Mikuleski for delivering me a delicious cider.
I'll drink to that. Cheers. All right, Letitia, we hope to see you tomorrow.
Letitia in the house. Tomorrow.
So, Mike, I was looking at comments. What happened with Plainfield's rock there?
Looks like it didn't make it. Neither did this one. Almost number 2, but not quite. That yellow rock will stand as number 3.
Taking a nice position on the top of the house, though, right on the center line. Good for a team who does not have the hammer.
Looks like Red's going to play a tap here, and we'll see if they can establish themselves as number 1 for the first time this end.
Seth, I'm not sure anybody wants to grade Renaissance quizzes.
Looks like the sweepers are on it. Looks like it might be a touch narrow shot from Greg. Little chip off the yellow might still be effective. We'll see where they end up.
That's a pretty square hit on yellow. Unfortunately, didn't have the weight.
Chipped yellow in for number 2. So yellow is sitting 1 and 2 now. A little bit of a tough miss from Greg Fiddler. A little stranger danger ended up in promoting the other team.
So, Mike, Seth likes our commentary style. I'm going to call it the buffoonery of Mike and Matt.
You can call it what you like, Matthew. I'm just doing my job.
Looks like sheet B's into the third end. We'll give you a scoring update there as soon as we see the score hung. So what's Craig looking to do here, Mike? Throw a guard?
Good question. I don't see why not. Something in front of both Reds to prevent a tap. Looks like he's got plenty on it. Sweepers are on it, though. Well, that's an effective shot.
Yeah, the hand goes up from Ice Cream Pants Mike. and they're very happy with that guard. Special thank you to Brian Stewart for cleaning the fog off the glass for us. Thank you, Brian. We can actually see now.
He can't hear us, but he knows he's doing good.
Nice shot. Very nice.
I think I'll raise a glass to Brian. He'll notice that eventually as soon as he turns around.
So here's an interesting shot for Jen. It looks like she's still trying to tap on the outside or the draw around. They're both there, but both difficult makes.
Yeah, Mike, based on that broom, I think plan A is the draw, plan B would be the tap.
I concur. Looks like it might be on that guard. Got a little rub there. Couldn't quite get it to be number 2 stone. Yellow still sits 1-2.
Definitely not number 2, but not a bad position for that stone to be in. That's something that they could use in a pinch if they had to.
Well, Matthew with the hammer and only 1 stone to go. Red's up against it. Max scenario
certainly.
here is scoring 1. Worst case scenario, they're giving up a bundle.
Absolutely.
It was just back line.
Looks like Doucette's just going to throw another guard on the other side here.
I don't hate defending the in-off on the other side of the sheet. I'm pretty sure that's the shot Jen's going to play.
Especially if he makes this guard. Looks like we're up to a record-setting 7 viewers. Welcome to whoever just joined us. We are watching Sheet A. Plainfield 2, skipped by Jennifer Weir, versus Nutmeg 1, skipped by Craig Doucette.
Well, this has made things difficult. It looks like yellow are now sitting 3, one of which in the 4-foot. And Jen and Greg have some conversations to see how they want to handle this.
Yeah, they're going to talk for a little while here, but I think they're going to come to the same conclusion that the only shot they really have is that in-off off the red on the outside.
That is if they want to score 1. If they play the same draw that yellow just played, they can easily cut it down to a steal of only 1 instead of 3. Depends on what the goal is here. Looks like that's what they're going to try.
Special shout out to Miss Nancy Clancy. She was kind enough to buy me a cider earlier, and I'm enjoying it very much.
She's very special.
So, Mike, I was having a conversation behind me. I didn't get to see where the broom went. What do they decide to do here?
Looks like they're trying that same draw. In the best case scenario, it comes around the yellow into the 4-foot to score 1. And if it comes up a little short, they still might cut them down. But I think they're crashing the guard, and I think we're looking at 3 yellow here.
Here comes the stone now. And unfortunately, Mike, you were right. It does crash the guard. That is a steal of 3 for yellow, the Nutmeg team.
Nutmeg curling based out of Connecticut. fun things happening in Connecticut curling.
Oh,
these
actually,
days.
Mike, they're checking to see if red is sitting number 3. That might be a steal of 2. They're taking a close look at this.
It is close, but yellow is definitely stealing at least 2.
Johanna, I agree. That cider is delicious. So we know it's going to be at least 1-2 for yellow, and we're going to probably have a little bit of a measure here for 3.
So fun things happening still with Connecticut curling. They have actually just started up the Hartford Curling Club. Yet another new curling club on the GNCC. They are hoping to have ice ready by next summer, and they are looking to represent themselves for the first time at this year's Harvest in Philadelphia later this month. Hartford Curling Club, founded by the back end here of this Nutmeg team, Craig and Mike.
Yes, and let's not forget Craig's wife, Erin, who also has played an integral role in the establishment of that club.
That's what I hear by the notes I took.
Just in case oh, Letitia's leaving. Goodbye, Letitia. We had fun talking to you, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow here at the club.
Bring that skunk of a boyfriend with you.
So while they're measuring on sheet A, a couple of quick notes. We have a score of 4-0 in favor of yellow on sheet B. That is Team Albany 2. And over on sheet C, they are in the third end. However, they have not hung the score for the second. So as far as we know, still just 2-0 in favor of Plainfield. Speaking of Plainfield, I have some notes here that their lead, Kevin, once killed a guy.
I heard that rumor too, and I believe it. He has that murderous look in his eye.
I think that's his glasses.
Looks like on sheet A that extra stone was yellow, and it's going to be 3 yellow there. Bringing the score to 4-0 there. Also on sheet C, just by a quick eyeballing, I'm not sure what the number is, but it looks like yellow scored again. An undetermined amount of stones. Here we go on A again. Craig calling for a center guard. That's going into the rings, no big deal.
Looks like Jen's calling for the hit here.
Yeah, we were running the whole way, and it's still done.
Jeff is in the hack, ready to throw.
Doesn't look like it has the weight there. They might be better off playing this as a draw.
I think we're in the guard zone at least. Might even hog here.
Not what you're looking for out of a hit, typically.
Yeah, this slow weight of this ice is really throwing this Plainfield team off.
The weight might be slow, but I have to imagine that you're probably looking to put a little more on that shot.
Yeah, definitely need a little more pepper on that.
Not sure if that's what yellow wanted there, but that's the way it ended up. Jen's
Yeah, it looks like the guard just overcurled a little bit. Jen's going to still try a takeout. Hopefully Jeff can put a little more sauce on this one and at least get it down into the house.
Maybe that's why they switched up the roles. not usually looking for hits out of your lead, but in this instance they are. And hopefully they can get it. Sweepers are on it right away.
Yeah, this still looks pretty light here, Mike.
Doesn't look like hit weight to me. We may make contact, but I'm not sure how far things are going to travel.
All right, so it's just down to it. Not a bad place for red to be.
No, not at all. But still not the cold shot. So it looks like Red's trying to draw behind the whole situation here, see if he can put another yellow into the rings. And they run it early. Looks like it's light again. And it's not going to even get close to the hog line. Here we are in the third end, and it looks like ice conditions have not picked up. I am fearful for the next draw.
Mike, Johanna happens to comment that this ice looks like molasses. Unfortunately, she's right. We've had a little bit of an issue with the temperature here. Very warm, unfortunately. Very high humidity has caused a little bit of ruckus in the ice for us. We did do a scrape in the midday, but unfortunately that wasn't enough to keep the speed up.
I've been playing on this ice all season and haven't seen it like this. It's unfortunate. The number of people, the way the temperature is, it's just creating some unfortunate circumstances for tonight's draw.
We're being told by the weatherman that it should be cooler tomorrow, so hopefully the dehumidifier will have a chance in the overnight to catch up. And with the temperature drop, we should hopefully see a little bit of a speedier play tomorrow morning after the morning scrape.
Fun fact, it looks like Red has not scored on any sheet yet.
Yeah, interesting. A little scoring update over on sheet C. Looks like 3-0 for yellow after 2. We're at 4-0 after 2 for yellow. Oh, actually, no. They hung a card, Mike. It is 4-2 on sheet B in favor of yellow. And, of course, on our feature sheet, sheet A, looking at 4-0 in favor of yellow.
I stand corrected. Red has scored somewhere. Finally.
So it looks like Red's trying to draw. This looks light again, Mike.
I think they came up a little narrow as well as light. I'm not sure the shot's going to accomplish what they wanted it to.
Yes, Johanna, sheet B did get 2 red. We apologize for that mistake. We can correct ourselves. Thank you for the update. It's hard when you're not paying attention.
Sorry, I was busy grabbing nipples for a bit.
Little
But
off
I'm back
ice,
now.
little off ice rough housing going on here. And it's not even 9 o'clock yet.
No, but I've been steadily drinking since roughly 10:30 this morning.
You and me both, my friend. You and me both. And for me, that's actually surprising. Yes, Seth, thank you for the reminder. A special shout out to our AV man behind the scenes, Mr. John Schuster. Your friend, my friend, everybody's friend. He's the reason that we have commentary here tonight. Thank you, John, and web streaming for that matter.
I concur. So So here comes Greg trying to draw around everything. Sweepers are on it. Looks like it's got plenty of room. It's a question of weight now. And much like many a
that
shot.
comes up short again.
Much like many a shot, not enough weight.
Seth, are you done grading your papers yet? And for the other 9 of you who are not Seth, feel free to post a comment in the comment section. We'd be happy to have a chat with you as well.
So it looks like Mike Ice Cream Pants McCarthy put a little extra on it to see if he can get it to the rings. And that might just be the extra that it takes to send it out the back.
Mike, nope, it's stuck.
He will stick around the back of the house and be number 2.
You know, I just realized I've been calling you Mike this entire broadcast. I should really call you by your proper name, Dude.
I've been called everything from... Well, that's not appropriate for commentary, the final of this phrase. But I've been called a lot of things. You can call me anything. Well, that had enough weight on it finally. Didn't stick around, but accomplished something.
Unfortunately, because that stone rolled out, yellow is still sitting when red chasing 4 points. They got to start putting some stones in the house here, Mike. Or Dude.
Yeah, it looks like yellow is taking a bit of a stranglehold on this match, and I'm not sure red has any recourse. Here comes Craig trying to cement another steal.
So, Mike, unfortunately, when you're running a bond spiel, sometimes you have certain responsibilities that need to be taken care of. And in that light, I have to step away for a few minutes. But in true curling fashion, I have found a substitute for myself. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to introduce Mr. Joe Angeli.
Hey, thanks, everybody. I don't think I warrant the applause after my game if anybody was bored enough to watch that disaster.
Well, we didn't bring you on board, Joe, for your curling ability. We brought you on board for your ability to talk.
That may be mistake number 2.
Well, only time will tell. So to keep you up to speed over here, it looks like every match seems to be yellow. Our feature sheet is sheet A, which seems to be particularly yellow. The ice bead seems to be sluggish. And here comes Jen trying to cement up another steal, yellow.
Jen is not yellow.
That's why we brought Joe on board. Of course, Jen is red.
Jen being the pride of Plainfield here.
Yeah, she's trying her best to fight off another steal of yellow here. And I gotta tell you, I got my money on another steal yellow.
Yeah. I have to agree. And as the shot leaves Jen's hand, I'm more confident of that as well.
She had the right weight on it, but it looks like it's hanging out there. Gonna crash that yellow and gonna do the old buckus. Good effort, though. Ice conditions are difficult, and hopefully they can put something together next day and make this match competitive.
Oh, the ice has been slow for the last couple of games. It's been like throwing uphill on both directions.
Was it slow for your last game, Joe?
Oh, yeah. I would say about 50% of our rocks were hogged.
That's a high percentage. I smell a bit of exaggeration there.
Well, it was a very interesting strategy by both teams to try to hog 50% of their rocks.
Strategic hogging has been the new thing in curling this year, so, let's keep our eyes open for that as the season goes on.
Oh, yeah, I'll be able to teach you guys that.
Joe has actually perfected strategic hogging, and he actually likes to hog a minimum of 70% of his rocks if he can.
Oh, then you were definitely watching our last game. Is this Craig in the hack over on A?
That's correct. Craig is looking to shoot his rock. Seems a little heavy for a guard, so perhaps he's looking to promote and do a little more damage while he can.
I don't think he can hurt this.
He can if he opens it up. And he may have a bit, but I'm still placing my money on another steel yellow here.
With these ice conditions, I think he didn't hurt it at all. Jen's coming back with hammer. What would you do if you had a hammer here?
Well, you have a narrow port that you can aim through there. And in your absolute best case scenario, you can split your red in and roll in as well and get full white on both for 2. But I'm guessing she's just looking to draw for the 1. And she's not even playing the split side. I'm going to guess this comes up as a guard.
She's going to have to heave this for a promote or even a draw.
They want it early, and rightfully so. And it looks like they're dragging it out as a result of it. While it didn't come up as a guard, it certainly wasn't a scoring rock either, and that'll be another steal 1 for yellow.
Well, Jen down 5-0 here going into the 4th. I would actually say these are 2 of the better teams of this Bonspiel. What do you think?
Well, that's why we're focusing on Sheet A instead of Sheet B, because we felt that these 2 teams were 2 of our most capable teams out there. The ice conditions are playing into things a little bit, but at the same token, both teams are capable of making shots, and I wouldn't necessarily rule Jen Weir's Plainfield side out of things just yet.
Have you played on this ice recently?
If you call recently, 2 days ago, yes. Today, I have not, and it certainly seems different than it was on Wednesday. This ice has typically been playing very fast and very swingy all season long. As this day has gone on, and I've been watching the matches all day, it looks like it's gotten slower and more sluggish, and it's reaching a level that I quite frankly haven't seen here at Ardsley. I'm sad to see it.
I think the temperature has played a really strong effect on this. What do you think?
I concur.
And who is this, Andrew, throwing lead rock?
Yes. Andrew Hancock. That did not make it to the hog line.
Interesting strategy to hog the first rock. What do you think?
Easier than throwing it out the back.
Definitely here today. And Jeff Carr with a nice rock there.
Something in the house is certainly worthwhile at this phase of the game. Craig is looking to draw behind it instead of taking it out for some reason, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we played in the last game, and we pretty much said, hey, just dump everything in, and we dare you to go get it.
I would say with a 5-0 lead that I would be playing a hit here.
Looks a little light for a hit. Looks a little light for pretty much anything.
We might be looking at another hog here. Fun fact about our Nutmeg skip Craig Doucette, apparently anticipating playing several Bonspiels in Canada this year, he invested heavily in the Canadian dollar in the spring. His house is currently in foreclosure over these decisions. But good luck in Canada, Craig.
What is it, down 30% this year, the Canadian dollar?
Yes, the U.S. dollar has surged against many foreign currencies, especially commodity currencies such as the Canadian dollar. So,
And probably Australian dollar as well?
Yes, the Australian dollar, the Kiwi. Craig has dabbled in the Australian dollar as well and also lost heavily. So again, good luck, Craig, keeping your house, and good luck in your Canadian Bonspiels.
Well, he's having problems with that house, and he's struggling getting in the house in this end.
He's got a lot of house problems.
That's an interesting strategy, guarding the red there.
I've actually been told from an outside party that Craig is a renter. So no worries about the mortgage on that one there, Craig. But good luck with your strong Canadian dollar position.
Hey, you can't win them all. Kyle Foster coming out of the hat.
Is that Kyle?
That's Kyle.
You would know. Under normal conditions, I would say this looks excellent, but currently it looks like another guard.
Normally not a terrible shot, but hey, when you're down 5-0, you really got to just throw stuff in.
That would have curled nicely behind that yellow where these ice conditions normally.
Another shot by yellow. This looks like it could be pretty good.
It's going to accomplish something.
And something it did.
It looks like yellow is sitting right on top of that red and counting one as it stands. Let's see if Jen and the Plainfield red team can counter it somehow. They're going to need to put more weight on it than they have their last couple of shots.
That looks heavy. Jen's asking for sweeping.
I think it's got a
Now
good
he's
chance
looking
here.
off.
Well, it changed the situation somewhat in that it got rid of the red backing, but yellow still sits one. But there are no stones behind it should red try to ply that trade again.
Well, do you think that was a good call and a good shot?
I think it was a good call. I think it was a decent shot. It didn't make it perfectly. It changed the situation.
If you were yellow, would you put it back?
I would guard it up. Down two, it's not bad either.
A shout out to Mary Cognetta asking me if this is my new profession.
I hope it isn't, because we're not paying you for it.
Oh, they must have listened to me. They just sat right on it.
That'll do. Right down to it is no problem. Going to be tough for red to score multiple points the way yellow is setting things up this end.
I think it's going to be tough for red to score at all.
Indeed that. Some updates from other sheets. It looks like on sheet C, red has scored 2 in the third end to make it a 3-2 match. They're getting close to the end of that fourth end there. We'll see how that closes out. Nice shot there by Greg Fiddler on sheet A here, but unfortunately it still leaves yellow sitting 1 and pretty well buried behind the guards.
Yeah, that was a good shot, good weight, but it just kicked just enough so that that yellow now is behind decent cover.
And that was a tough double. To get rid of both of them there would have been very difficult, but they did cut the number down to 1. We'll see what they can do when Jen's shots come.
Draw's still there. Yellow a little short on that.
On sheet B, it looks like yellow has taken 1 on their hammer in the 4th to take a 4-2 lead. They proceed now with the 5th end over there.
5-2 lead. 5-2 lead for yellow.
That's why we keep you around.
I'm the math guy.
Here comes Greg's second shot here on sheet A. And it looks like he's going to tuck in there pretty nicely. And still be number 2.
You know, he just got a bad kick off of that front red.
Well, he needed the rub, otherwise he would have rolled to even further back. If he's sitting back 4 now, he would have been back 8 without that rub.
If you're yellow, you know where red's going. Where are you going to put it here?
You're going to put it somewhere on that path and prevent that from happening. Craig called for a little more ice from Mike because why not? And we'll see if he can execute a proper guard here. Looks like the sweepers are on it all the way. I think at some point they might want to come up for fear of over-sweeping. But it looks like it's going to be a pretty effective shot.
Beautiful shot. Beautiful shot.
John, great sweep. Great sweep.
Great sweeping indeed.
Well, if you're red here, you got to be shaking your head. What shot do you possibly have?
You don't have one. Even if you peeled off that yellow guard, I have every anticipation Craig will put it right back up. You could run the red on our left side and see if you can run that back into the yellow, possibly chip it out and be sitting 2, or at the very least shake it up and open that side of the house. That's what I call, quite frankly.
What about promoting the red in front?
Well, that's what I mean. On our left, that red.
Okay.
Run that back into the yellow, or at least if you don't get that accurately done, clear it out and open that side up. But they're playing our right side of the house. I'm not sure there's anything here.
I know I definitely can't see it either.
Well, that's Plainfield curlers for you.
Yeah, I mean, they're used to the negative ice and at this point actually not having a floor, so...
I hear they've been playing on plywood right now, and that's not going so well. But the ice here is playing like plywood tonight, so...
Yeah.
It might play to their advantage.
It very well could. Although Jen hogging this rock is a very, very unique strategy, and I don't really see how that helps you.
That might have been a strategic hog, actually. Jen is wily.
Do you think the 5-0 lead is getting in her head?
Yes. As Craig and Ice Cream Pants Man discuss a shot that really needs no discussion, I'd like to throw a shout out to Valtrex. Valtrex treating sores on your private parts for decades, and rightfully so. Here's a shout out to Valtrex for doing a service to the sores on our private parts for years.
Are they one of Ardsley's sponsors for this Bonspiel?
No, I just appreciate their product very much.
Somebody's got to.
I'm not being paid for this. I just think it's the right thing to say.
Well, we'll let them know, and maybe they can hand you an envelope.
or just maybe a free sample size tube of Valtrex to ease my private parts angst. This could do more damage than good. But fortunately for Craig Doucette, it did not.
Well, if somehow red can get that yellow out, that would be 3 red.
The same run back we discussed on Jen's first shot, had she tried it there and at least jostled the red, she could be playing a straight hit here. That said, she's still not even looking at that side of the sheet, so...
Well, she's standing on that side of the sheet now, so maybe she could see it. She just pointed at it.
Indeed. These things have occurred.
You know, as a skip, and I'm sure you've skipped a number of games, what do you think about looking at both sides of the ice, looking at from the hog line and looking from behind?
Well, I generally know what I want to call, but if I'm concerned about the angle or about the vision, yeah, taking a trip to the other side of the hog and getting a peek over there is a good idea. And if I trust my front end, I'll just even ask them, get down in the hack, tell me what you see, and we'll go from there. Looks like she's going to try to play that run back. She should have tried it on her first shot, but if she makes this perfectly, it could be a game changer. Going to have to put some serious weight on it, though, with this ice.
Definitely. That doesn't look like serious weight.
It doesn't look like it's going to accomplish anything, sir.
That could even promote the yellow. No, it's even going to curl.
It's going to
too much.
crash on the guard. That looked like it had about a 3 or 4 zone weight.
Some quick scores. Looks like it's still 5-2 yellow on sheet B. And it looks like it's 4-2 yellow on sheet C, with yellow sitting 2 in the house in the 5th end.
That's what it looks like.
For our ones of fans that are out there listening to today's games, we want to keep them informed.
How many fans are we up to now?
I don't know. How many we got? 10? 12? 12.
Amazing. The more this match gets out of hand, the more viewers we get. It must be our sparkling personalities.
I'm thinking that.
If there are any Valtrex executives
I think
out
the Valtrex
there,
executives just tuned in to see what all the
I
hubbub is
appreciate any Valtrex viewership that we get.
Good news, we are up to 12 board people worldwide watching our telecast.
For all of you interested people out there, did you know that New Zealand is actually part of a continent called Zealandia? Only 5% of this continent is above water. That's what we know as New Zealand. 95% of it is submerged. There is a submerged continent called Zealandia that most people have not heard of.
Did not know that.
I thought Ben Stiller was pretty good in that movie.
Model, idiot. I worked on that steel gaze myself for a while, but I'm just not as handsome as Ben Stiller.
Not even close, guys. You definitely have a face for internet radio.
I've got a face for something on the internet, I was told.
Ah.
Fun news about interest rates. It looks like we are all but certain to raise rates in December this year, thanks to today's jobs report coming out as strong as it did.
Did you listen to Janet Yellen's speech?
I listened to all of Janet Yellen's speech. It's kind of my thing.
What is that accent?
She sounds like a cartoon character. I think it's a cartoon character accent. That said, look forward to more interest on your savings and more interest on your loans in the near future.
Is there more interest in that than watching these games?
At this point, I think there is more interest on interest rates. Yes, I would say.
Joanna Humphrey with a shout out. Her husband is on sheet B in the checkered pants. She's in the hotel room with the baby.
I met that baby earlier.
Is it a boy or a girl?
It's a boy,
Okay.
I think.
We're not sure.
Babies are nondescript, but I believe I referred to it as an it at one point and was corrected to a he, and rightfully so.
Okay.
I'd like to point out for the record, though, that most nondescript babies can be accurately described as its. Here's a nice corner freeze on sheet B. That's a useful shot for a red team down.
And I believe checkered pants is Philly, which is red, currently down 7-2.
That corner freeze might help change things entirely, though.
I don't know about this ice. Good news, Matt. The baby is a boy. The boy's name is Ansel.
That's not a real name.
Joanna, your husband is going to need a little more luck to pull this game out. Currently down 7-2. And with that hog by Yellow, that's probably still not enough luck.
So you're saying that Ansel might be regretting that shot?
Ha ha. Well put, Jonathan.
Oof. That's why we usually don't give him a mic, I guess.
I'm kind of thinking we should give him a mic more frequently.
Ah.
Did you know that Fruit Loops are all the same flavor, just different colors?
I believe that.
Because it's true. I'm a bigger fan of Captain Crunch with Crunch Berries, personally, though. Those Crunch Berries are delicious.
What about cereal with real fruit in it? Are you a big fan of that, like Raisin Bran and such?
I'm dubious of anything that says it has real fruit in it, yet can stay on a shelf unrefrigerated on end.
Valid point.
If I want real fruit in my cereal, I'll put it in myself.
Matt's going to have to step away now. We're going to try to handle this without him. Craig Doucette from Nutmeg pouring it on sheet A. Guarding the yellow rock, which is currently in the 4-foot. Jen calling for the takeout, which is even tough on this ice. Craig Figler with the shot. And got a tap on the yellow, a little bit of a rub to get it back online for the takeout. Now joining us online is Matt Gallegos from the Ardsley Curling Club. How you doing, Matt?
I'm doing excellent.
He's going to help us with the commentary today.
Indeed I am. What sheet are we calling tonight?
We're currently calling Sheet A, which is the Weir Doucette game.
And what makes it so weird?
That would be Jen Weir. That would be Jen Weir, the skip from...
Weir. I said weird Doucette game.
Well,
okay.
Technically all the games are kind of weird today. Matt, is this the first you've seen the ice today?
Well, we were watching from work on an excellent web stream earlier today. We were following the action as much as we could. And we hear the ice has dramatically changed from this morning's to the evening draws.
Yeah, this morning I played at 8 o'clock and it was super fast. And played at 5:45, and we probably hogged a good half of our rocks.
Clearly, that's the sweeper's problem.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Well, the front end really needs to pick up their game.
Yeah, definitely some extra Wheaties for them for tomorrow's breakfast for this ice.
Well, we have plenty of directional fabric brooms for sale. Broom heads here, if anybody wants to get in on that. They are going rate prices because buy them while you can before they're unavailable.
Matt, the eternal salesman here.
Looks like our feature game is a little bit one-sided at this point.
Actually, the good majority of this evening's games are one-sided.
So it's basically whoever gets it in the house scores.
Yeah, basically that's how it was at the 5:45 draw.
So takeouts are peel weight plus and pray to God.
Jen trying to get it in for 2. They're going to have to sweep this.
Well, the sweepers are hitting it really hard, but as we were just discussing, the ice has changed so dramatically, really struggling with the draws.
Just got over the hog. I don't know what that was.
Well, there are 2 stones remaining, so they initially tried to move it over, but apparently it was still in play. Not that that's visible from... Oh, it is invisible from our webcast. Normally, we struggle to see the hog lines from our webcam views.
Today we got full shot of the hog-lined house for all of you. Letitia's back. Hey. Nope. People scrolling. What's going on here? we have 2 more board people. We're up to 14 watching.
Well, when you have nothing better to do on a Friday night, we're always glad to host you here at Ardsley.
Actually, I want to thank everybody for Ardsley. I don't know if most of you know this, but Plainfield without ice for the first half of the 2015-16 season, and have hosted a number of the Plainfielders for the first half of the season here.
Indeed, we have. We have several members who have, at least for the first half, joined some of our leagues, as well as several as associate members, just looking for a little extra ice time in preparation for their bonspiels or just to stay fresh. So we, a lot of our practice ice time is taken up, which is great. We'd love to see them here. Great contribution to our club, and sorry they lost their ice, at least temporarily.
It does sound like we're going to be back in action January 1st.
That's great to hear. I mean, initially we were here in December. Hey, at this point, glad to hear you back at all this season. We heard the floor was in rough condition. We'll just leave it at that.
And as always, we'd like to welcome the people from Ardsley down at any point in time.
Well, we love the bonspiels down there. The bonspiel is just ridiculous, as anyone who's ever been part of that. The Thrifty is always a good time. What other bonspiels do you guys host during the year?
We do have the Stone, which is the all men's, and we have the Founders as well. And for those of you that don't know, coming up in December is the Friendly, the Ardsley Plainfield Bucket Friendly. That will be coming up third weekend in December, December 20th.
Yes, that has been, in the last few years, been a majority control, we'll say, in the Plainfield side. Don't know what's happening there. Just they bring the strong teams, and we just can't keep up.
Yeah. Well, if only the bucket coordinator could get his acting gear and actually get the bucket engraved, because it still hasn't been engraved for the last 2 years. But hopefully he'll be able to get it done in time for December 20th.
And is the bucket coordinator from what club?
That would be me.
Okay. Yeah, he's been really slacking. There's been a lot of commentary. He needs to be ousted, but no one's really willing to take that job. So.
Oh, I totally agree with that. I've been trying to get out of it for years, but nobody's biting. I don't understand.
Well, that's the joy of voluntary clubs. So many of us, as soon as you volunteer once, you are locked into that position, as our webmaster here is well aware. And
well, the good news is I'm guaranteed a victory this year, as Matt has asked me to help out for Ardsley this year, and Plainfield has asked me to help out for them this year, so I'll be running it from both sides.
Clearly a win-win situation.
Definitely a win-win.
Yes. Good choice on that decision. We had handshakes on sheet B. That is a win for Team Philadelphia over Team Albany.
Team Albany over Philly.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm colorblind apparently. Team Albany over Team Philadelphia. That's Team Jeremy Olson from Albany over Team Mark DeSouza from Philadelphia.
So bad news for Joanna and son Ansel, as the Pants were unable to score the victory.
It's always a shame when the Pants can't perform.
What do you think about Crazy Pants?
Well, as a man who enjoys good accessories, I am a fan of the Crazy Pants. On sheet A, we have a nice pair of white pants, but really do stand out.
Okay.
We had the checkerboard pants on sheet B, usually a pair of those pastel and fun pants out there.
Mm-hmm.
I do enjoy a good accessory.
What do you think about the fake tuxedo shirts on sheet C?
The Faucito?
The Faucito.
How can you go wrong with the Faucito? It's so easy to keep your tie all tight. Keep that thing buttoned up. You don't have to worry about the shirt coming untucked. I see no downside to the Faucito.
Red hogging another rock, being down 6-2. That's an interesting strategy there.
Yeah, I'd usually bring one into the house and put up a guard there, but hey, everyone likes something a little different there. So On my team, my competitive team last year, every time we hogged a stone, that person was responsible for a pitcher of beer. And considering how many hog stones we're having here, it's a good night for the bar.
Yeah, I think I would have given them about $100 after the 5:45 game.
Well, that sounds like my team's normal contribution to the bar.
Yeah, however, here at Ardsley, that's $100. That's actually only 2 pitchers of beer.
We would like to thank the organizers who've done a great job getting contributions to our alcohol, so being able to bring down those prices just a little bit.
Yeah, they have a very interesting assortment. I think there's a cider and 2 beers this year.
Yes, once again, our organizer did a hell of a job trying to work with the curling club, who is the controlling people of our bar. And well, sorry, Country Club owns the bar. We'd love to own the bar. That's just not in our cards right now. But they've worked with us well. Let us bring in a couple kegs and lower our prices just a little bit.
You did it! You made it through.
Well, interesting. There's nothing in the house currently on sheet A.
This is a real shame seeing our ice play this way. I have to say, most of the season we've had fairly quick ice. The first end might be a little slow, as you would expect at a lot of clubs, but picks right up, really nice quick ice, a lot of curl. It's really a shame to see it play in this way. I understand the weather's just a bit rough on our dehumidifier.
Yeah, if you actually take a look at the dehumidifier out in the ice shed, the humidity was about 60%.
It's a hard time to. It just can't keep up. If you've been outside it all today, I mean, there's water dripping off of every surface possible. It's rough. It's a shame.
Rough for the club, rough for the ice, rough on the curlers today. It's definitely been difficult. And it looks difficult on sheet C as well, as C, Plainfield manages to hog another rock.
All right, with 2 Plainfield teams out there, what can you tell us about the strengths of the other these teams?
I actually think that Jen, if you look on sheet A, this is the Jen Weir team. I actually think that they're very strong and managed to run into a very difficult opponent here in Craig Doucette. I think they're going to fall into either the B or C event after this game, and still look forward to them to actually have a very strong showing in the remainder of this Bonspiel. If you don't know the Plainfield team on sheet C, that would be Derek, Dan, Pat, and Kevin. They're all second-year curlers, but they're very experienced for Plainfield, and they're having a very good performance today, up 5-2 with 2 in the house. And a few of them have actually managed to play here at Ardsley for half the year, and I think that experience that they have has definitely paid off in this Bonspiel, and I look for them to do fairly well.
I'd say in general, if you've had a little experience here, our ice in general, not this might be a bad example with this last draw, but in general plays fairly decent speed and a lot of curl. If you're not used to playing with that much of curl, it can really catch you off guard and makes calling the stones from the house for the skip and especially for the vice very difficult.
Yeah, if you threw right rate this morning, you could get it to curl from pretty much outside the 12-foot on the right to inside the 8-foot on the left. So you're talking, what, about 10 feet here?
Well, that's a little dramatic. That's not what we are hoping for our normal curl. No, I'd say normally on a good weeknight during our leagues, it'd be middle of 12 or a little bit towards the outside of 12 for your center guards.
Oh, no, it was definitely curling much more than that this morning. And even with this slow ice, you can still get a decent curl.
Yeah, that was a little bit bananas. That should not happen. Hopefully when we gets a little bit cooler as the weekend progresses, the ice will get a little bit back to normal.
Yeah, at 8 o'clock for my center guards, I was up the line having my team throw center guard.
Nice to see you were able to make the adjustments.
I think that's very key in these 5 and unders is learning how to adjust to the ice very quickly. And if you're the first to pick up the ice and you can dump stuff in the house, that's a very important key to winning.
Absolutely. First skips rock for Team Weir. Once again, we're running into a sheet of ice that's just not allowing anything over the hog. It's a shame.
Well, here's an interesting situation. If you're yellow and there's nothing in the house, what would you do? Would you blank this end?
For yellow,
Yes.
there's nothing in the house currently. Personally, no. I'd go for the throat and draw something in the house.
Okay.
Or maybe just play a little bit tighter ice than he's playing now, and either sweep it hard, see if you can get around the guard. If you don't get around the guard, you always have the tap on that outside stone. This is the right side to play because you have it's a good miss if you miss. That just comes from me. I prefer to steal as much as possible, put the pressure on the other team. Anyone who's played me has seen that over to Jesus. This is another stone, just not going to make it.
Well, they don't even want it to come over. It looked like they got up kind of early. And on sheet C, a final draw for red, and it looks like steal it 2.
And congratulations to was it
Team Cussen.
Team Cussen from Plainfield, victorious on sheet C. Moving on.
And if we assume that Jen's not going to be able to come back, that makes Plainfield 4-0 in the first round and 2-2 in the second.
That is still a great record. We'd love to see the number of away teams showing up to our Bonspiels. Especially this one, our first couple years here, it was a majority Ardsley team as we were trying to build this Bonspiel. And now I think we have 3 Ardsley teams. We have a few members on a couple other teams as they needed subs or whatever the case may be. But this turnout's been fantastic. Handshakes on sheet A.
Yep, it looks like it's it.
Well, congratulations to, is it Doucette?
That looks like Craig Doucette with the victory for Nutmeg.
Runners up at the Dykes last year, at least 3 of these boys. Congratulations to the team, and they're moving on.
And do you think they're the favorite to win?
Going in my cold draw, just looking at the teams, they were my pick to win it.
Okay.
There are some other strong teams here who have so far performed well. People I expect to see them either in the finals or moving on deep into this month.
Okay, and it looks like they're definitely going to move on as they have a win today. And our 8 o'clock draw comes to an end a little bit earlier than hoped, but, you know, what can you do? The ice was a little tricky.
Yes. Hey, and if we were at all late, now we're back on schedule.
Oh, yeah, we're definitely back on schedule now. All right, I want to thank everyone from Ardsley and all the ones of people watching today's telecast, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Thanks, guys.